and give me one mic. Everybody's got excuses, but you got one life to live, one life to give, one moment, one opportunity. Boy, that's it, and it's all said and done. When the going gets tough and the tough gets going, you just go ahead and run. Cause opinions are like assholes, everybody has one. They're being constructive or they jealous of the outcome. It's not about the times you fail, it's about the times you got up. And I don't even care what the fuck your excuses is. Fact is, you just blame the cause of foolishness. What you think I'm dubious, you gotta get up, get going and just move on. Don't look towards the past, you gotta groove on. You procrastinating now, you gotta get that motivation. I already created a track called Inspiration. Gotta get up, get going and get fucking hype. Go.
It's Thursday night and it's Rundown. I am Big Red and I'm with the crazy one himself, Kid Crazy.
What's up, everybody, wrestling fans? Welcome to this week's Wrestling Talk Now.
So we're two, soon to be three. Our co-host JT will join us soon. JLB is out in vacation. Hopefully, he's enjoying his vacation. Hopefully, no hurricanes are on his way.
But everything is okay and he stays safe until his return because we need
Yes.
JLB.
So, where do we want to start?
Okay, so usually we start with breaking news. Is there anything you heard out of this new breaking news stuff for this week, or
Not really.
let me see if I have anything here in my okay, so I'm fed up with talking about this, but I guess we could talk about it one last time because there's a few stories that came out on the dirty sheets. We already had basically the two sides of the story.
Yeah.
From the Elite side of the story and the CM Punk side of the story. And now Brian Alvarez from Wrestling Observer Radio basically confirmed that there's no longer two sides of the story. CM Punk's side has basically admitted to most of what the Elite side of the story was saying. So definitely CM Punk threw the first punch. And basically there was no provocation, that the Young Bucks and Kenny went in there with the head of legal of AEW and Christopher Daniels, which is the head of talent relations, basically. So they went there with those representatives to like figure out what happened at the press conference at the scrum. And what we don't know is if CM Punk felt provoked or whatever, but he threw the first punch, and everything else that we heard from the Elite side of the story was true, according to Brian Alvarez.
But
So now
see,
we have. Go ahead.
this is my problem. You go in front of social media, in front of wrestling friends, you have Tony Khan next to you, telling everyone, if you have a problem, come and see me. The doors always open. They come and see him, and this is what he does.
Yeah, because you said Tony Khan, but right, CM Punk said you should always come and talk to me face to face. That's what they actually do, and you lose it. So, yeah.
And for that, if I'm Tony Khan, and if the rumors are true, you pay out his contract, and you leave Phil in Chicago.
Yeah, and I think that's what's going to happen because from what we heard, we have a second source. I know we talked about this last week, that it was Wade Keller from Pro Wrestling Torch that had reported that the word in the wrestling industry is that Tony was going to buy out Phil CM Punk's contract. And now we have a second source, which now is Brian Alvarez again from Wrestling Observer Radio. He's saying basically that he didn't say it the same way about the buyout and everything, but he says it feels the feeling backstage and in the wrestling industry is that CM Punk has wrestled his last match in AEW, and
Good.
for that case, I think he has wrestled his last match. Period.
Period.
I don't
And
think
he's
I don't think
and
his
he
ego is too big for him to go to a smaller independent promotion, and nobody in the big promotion is going to
no.
want to touch him.
and
So that's about
and he's gone for what 2-3 weeks already.
yeah.
More.
I think this was the fourth week, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I have not missed him.
No, not at all. People know I'm not the biggest fan of CM Punk. I know what he
Well,
brings, what he can bring, but I didn't feel like
no,
there was missing CM Punk in these last 3-4
no,
weeks. So
no. There was also a
that's it.
rumor. There was also a rumor, which it's not gonna happen, but they're saying that because now there are people that when they see the world title, they think of Punk and they want to make a new design to like start fresh. We don't need that.
No, I don't think so. It's
It's
not
not like
the
it's
title has
not.
been the same design for everybody that's held it until now. I think the design is good. I'm not a big fan of keep on changing title
No,
designs.
no.
You know, the WBC titles, the boxing titles, they don't change. They're pretty much the same ones forever. Yes, I know that the UFC titles have recently changed, but they stayed the same for many years. I wanted
Yeah.
to say a decade, but I'm not sure if it was that long, but pretty close to a decade. I know WWE changes their titles every once in a while, but it's more. It all started with when they start doing titles designed to the person that's holding it. Like for example, the spinner for John Cena.
I think that's where the title designs for WWE went down the drain.
Yeah, because then every time you have a new champion, then you have to redesign the titles. So I don't think that's a good idea. I think AEW should just stick to this one. This one's nice, and there's a feeling there. It makes it, and the longer you keep it the same, the more value I think, and at least in my opinion, it has, because that title is the original title. It's I don't know. It brings a different
No,
feel to it.
100%.
There's a
Talking. Go
there's a
ahead.
rumor to finish on CM Punk. There's a rumor out there that his buyout was $9 million.
Wow.
Because when you buy out, if I don't know exactly the exact rules of it, but usually if you take the example of buying out a contract in the NHL,
Right.
usually you have to agree with the guy to pay him out a certain amount of that contract, and then the contract is thrown away.
That's
So
correct.
if he had signed a 3-year deal, let's say a 3-year deal, let's say, so there was basically more than 2 years left in his contract. Let's say he was $5 million a year. Tony Khan says, "Here's $9 million. I don't want to see your face anymore." It's still a lot of money for somebody that lasted maybe in total maybe 11 seconds as champion. Yeah, $9 million to appear.
Yeah.
He was
See,
basically there for 2-3 months. If you take out the injury time,
that's to me that contract was not a contract of a boss to an employer. It was a fan wanting a big name in his company.
yeah, he basically thought maybe that CM Punk was going to be his Brock Lesnar. That's what Tony thought. That CM Punk was going to be his big star, that you could pay him a lot of money, and he's going to move the needle. But
Well, he moved the needle.
he moved the
but,
needle at certain, especially at the beginning, because there was
yeah.
the anticipation for him to show up. But I think eventually they reached their gliding stride, and he didn't move the needle much after that. Yes, like we said last week, great matches, great promos, especially the feud with MJF. Was he worth all that money? I don't know. Who am I to judge how Tony spends his money? But whatever. I guess that's we're turning the page now on Phil Brooks in AEW. Yeah, exactly.
Phil could stay with Larry. Walk, Larry. Phil, walk.
Yes, with Larry and with Ace, whatever his name is the guy who bites people. Yeah. Oh, if you want to finish on the CM.
No, I'm done with CM.
Oh, okay, okay.
I
So okay,
wanted
let's
to
moving on.
talk to you about the WWE is making well making the real redesigning 4 titles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the tag team titles, right?
Well, the, the tag team is one of them. Those there's another rumor that it could be the world title.
Oh, okay.
The other two we don't know. And also, I read there's a rumor now that NXT Europe is coming.
Well, yeah, we had heard about that. Yeah.
They're thinking of bringing back the European Championship.
Okay. So that would be basically the world title in NXT Europe type of
Most
thing, no?
likely. Yeah.
No, which that
But
would make sense. I used to I enjoyed the European Championship,
yeah.
especially Shawn Michaels' run with it.
Yeah.
Some classic matches, even with what's his face, with
British
Davey Boy,
Bulldog.
yeah, British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm all down for having the European Championship return. It would make sense, especially in the
Yeah.
context of the NXT Europe. Yeah, I'm okay with that. What else? We also oh yes, we heard Sasha Banks apparently took out all the mentions of WWE on her
Yeah.
Twitter, on her
She's
social media.
Mercedes.
So is that a swerve or to make people think that she's out and they will be showing up soon? I think that's the case. I think that's the case because from what we had heard when Triple H took over was that negotiations had started again and that they were on the same page. But Naomi posted a photo of the WWE Women's title, but like glowing, like her thing is the glow. So one seems like she's taking away all the mentions of WWE. The other one seems like she's mentioning WWE again. So I don't know if they're playing with us, if they're trying to work us. One
Do
way or the other.
you think I'm thinking out of the box here.
Mm-hmm.
Trinity and Mercedes come back. Okay, but they don't come back as Sasha and Naomi.
Hmm.
They come back as Mercedes and Trinity.
I'm not saying it's out of the question. I guess it could be a possibility, but I doubt it. We've noticed all these guys that were in other places that got released and were in other places and came back.
Mm-hmm.
They all came back with their WWE names, except Johnny Gargano, because obviously Johnny Gargano was always Johnny Gargano, even in NXT. So they should have more little people wrestling. Yes, those were the days there.
Yes.
Those were the days back then. Joe
Yeah.
had some good guys that made a career out of it. So
Well, that feud with Dwayne the Clown and Jerry the King and the
Dink.
little Dink.
Oh yes,
Dink.
well yes, with when there was the feud with Doink and Jerry the King.
Survivor Series, man.
Yeah, and there was Dink there with him
Yeah.
and the other little clowns.
Yeah.
It was funny. I lost that train of thought. What I was saying.
Trinity.
Oh yes.
Mercedes.
So I don't think I think I don't think the WWE will want to bring them back with their original names. I think they want to milk especially in Sasha Banks. Maybe Trinity would come in as Trinity. I doubt it. Everybody that's come back has come back with their Braun Strowman has come back with their WWE names.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that would work. And I think Sasha Banks is worth money for the name. Sasha Banks is worth
definitely.
money for WWE.
Definitely.
So I wouldn't see that coming. That's that. Breaking news on that. Then there's also we had talked about last week about the 923 hints for that whole QR codes and stuff like that. Well, when we went to go check the QR code that appeared at 9 o'clock and 9:23 on last Friday, it led to coordinates for Edmonton, Alberta, which was where Raw was this week on Monday. Once again, we didn't get no Bray Wyatt. They're still just basically continuing the mystery and getting people's the fans intrigued and asking, going check these QR codes, playing these games that they're playing, like that little Pac-Man game, trying to keep the the enthusiasm for the return of Bray Wyatt alive. So when he does come, it's going to be huge.
I don't know if it's Bray though. That's
But at this point, I know that it's too obvious for it to be Bray. But at this point, you're pointing it too much towards Bray for it not to be Bray. So if it's not Bray, it's going to ruin this whole thing.
okay. Well, but
People are going to start
remember,
booing, and that guy whoever shows up, and it's not Bray, his career is done.
okay, but do you remember when the whole thing of Cody Rhodes and we all thought it was a work
Mm-hmm.
and it looked like a work,
But it wasn't.
but it ended up not a work.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we think it's Bray, but it's not really Bray.
Well, that's it. That's what I'm saying. Is that if it's, I don't think that's the thing. I think they're making you think that it's a work, and that they're working you, and then it won't be a work, because like I just said, if whenever this guy returns or this person returns, and it's
Right.
not Bray Wyatt, that person has no chance in WWE, like zero chance. Every time he will come up, people will be remembered that they thought it was Bray Wyatt and it wasn't, and it's just going to be booed off out of the ring every single time.
Well, that's very true. If it's Bray, I'm happy it's Bray.
Mhm.
As long as he doesn't come back as the Fiend.
Yeah, because the
Give me old
experience.
Bray.
Yes, we all want. Originally,
I want the
like to-
rocking.
Yes, it's the crazy and all them, like we saw this week, it pointed to like the first Bray Wyatt's first promo in FCW in the where he basically alludes to killing, burning down the house with his father inside. So that's the patricide, that hint we've been seeing. So it's every single thing points to Bray. So it's kind of a double swerve what they're doing here. I don't know if people understand. It's like we're making you think it has to be Bray, but then people are saying no, it's too obvious that it's Bray, so it can't be Bray, and then it ends up being Bray, and people just pop.
Do you think he's coming alone?
No, I think there will be a faction. He might show up the first time he shows up. He might show up alone, but I think it's going to be with a faction. We've seen these rumors on the internet about the whole live action Firefly Funhouse. So basically,
I'm not
having
interested.
Cross,
Yeah,
Karrion Cross as White Rabbit.
right.
What's his face?
Braun,
Yes, Braun as the pig.
Dexter.
Dexter as the other one. What's the other one? I forget. I think I have
It's
it.
either goat, sheep.
Maybe
I posted that picture in our group.
Yeah, and I have it here on screenshots somewhere. I know Karrion Cross is the White Rabbit, that's for sure. Well, I mean, in the picture at least it was. Oh, here it is. So yeah, so Mercy, that's it. Dexter's Mercy, which was the
Yeah.
buzzard, the buzzard,
And there's
and
there's
Scarlet is Abby.
right.
Yeah.
Abby.
So
But that's the thing. Abby as the sister.
well, yeah, it's Abby is technically Wyatt's sister. Yeah,
Okay. But if that
Abigail.
comes, yeah, Abigail, yeah. But if that comes to into what's the word I'm looking for?
Into
If that
fruition.
come, thank you.
Mhm.
Does that take out Bliss out of the picture? Because she still has that stupid doll. Like,
Yeah, but Bliss will always be Lily, right?
If
Bliss
it's
will
part of-
always be Lily. So it's like kind of a different thing. She'll probably be involved in the storyline, but not part of that faction. I don't think.
you think,
But it's an
Reg-
interesting thing though to have a live, to have the Firefly Funhouse become live
but
action.
if that was if that's a faction, that's a strong. That's
That is a
that's a
strong
s-
faction. I don't know if Karrion Cross would need to be in a faction.
not only that. You have you have three guys who are most likely in the world title picture.
Well, yeah, Bray definitely. Karrion Cross looks like it.
Strowman.
Strowman, yeah, Braun is pretty much could be. He's been a champion before in WWE, so I wouldn't. Yeah, he probably can be in that picture, but that's strong. And Dexter can be that sick like the hitman for them, you know.
Right.
So I think that would be a
Also,
good idea. I don't know if that's where they're going with it, but I think that would be a good idea.
I was just like you brought that up, but I was thinking like maybe Redbeard was going to be with him.
Yeah, we heard that there might be rumors that Eric was going to be there, Redbeard, but we've seen him. I know he has no contract with AEW, but he sometimes appears and he's
Yeah.
appearing on in the indies and everything.
And there was also
Maybe
a
Triple H
rumor,
doesn't want to touch that.
and also there was a rumor that Bray wanted to start a faction with his brother Bo. There was also another rumor.
Bo.
Bo Dallas.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay,
We forgot about Bo.
yeah. Oh, because I heard he was doing something else now, completely out of
Oh,
wrestling and
okay. There
everything.
you go. Well, I know he's he's in real estate with
Yeah, that's it. I think he was a
Morgan.
real estate agent. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
To finish up on the
But
breaking news, go ahead.
uh, if you have something to if you have something else, I have something else. Breaking news.
Okay, so
Go ahead first.
the breaking news, nothing. It's nothing spectacular, but there's rumors that when the Raw and SmackDown TV deals are up,
Yes.
it looks like Netflix is really interested in signing both Raw and SmackDown.
Oh.
So if Netflix offers anything, how can I say this? If Netflix offers anything above 500 million a year, then we will be seeing Raw and SmackDown on Netflix. I don't know how that affects.
Peacock.
Well, no, not Peacock, because Raw and SmackDown are not on Peacock.
No, but Netflix is gonna like it starts with Raw and SmackDown because Peacock is like Netflix in the sense of
Yeah, it's a streaming service. Yes.
right.
Yeah.
So maybe they're
Um,
gonna ask you to do pay-per-views as well. Nice. Yeah.
Well,
I
yeah,
agree. Nice.
they could because let's say okay, they don't have really a problem. Peacock is more so Raw and SmackDown usually end up on the WWE network
Right.
a few months after it aired. So I don't think that's a problem for Peacock. I think once Peacock heard um this rumor or maybe the negotiations that are happening, maybe Peacock now wants to have Raw and SmackDown on Peacock also. So maybe they'll counter offer another offer to WWE for that. I just would like to know, where does that leave Canada?
Well, I think that's gonna stay with Sports Center 360.
It I don't know, because Netflix. Okay, I know Netflix. There's Netflix. There's different Netflix in the States than there is in Canada.
Yeah. Right.
So I think that would be possible. Still in that way. I just don't. I hope that we don't lose SmackDown and Raw in Canada to Netflix. I don't know if it's in the States. It's probably worth it for Netflix, because that's about between 2 and 3 million people watching those two shows a week. So, but I think it might hurt. I don't know. It might make it less people, or just say, okay, fuck it, I'm not gonna get Netflix and just won't watch. So you might lose a bit of ratings there, or viewers, because on Netflix it's not really ratings; it's more viewers, streams actually. So yeah, I think it would be okay. But it's interesting. It's interesting to go. You know, we see that this shift in television, a lot of things moving to streaming services. We taught live sports, which I put wrestling, professional wrestling, in that category, because it's every week live that people watch.
But
I thought,
they should have a channel of only wrestling.
well, yeah, well, they have the WWE network, right?
No, I'm talking about all.
I don't think so, because they make so much money. If you have everything, then somebody's gonna pay. Like in this case, Netflix would have to pay 500 million to even just come close to what they make with USA and Fox. I think Fox is 250 million. Because
Joe, he agrees. I believe he agrees with me. I like Joe.
yeah, I think Uh, it would be, let's say 500 million. I think Netflix would have that money, and you have an extra
Mm.
3 million or whatever, between 2 million and 3 million, trying new subscribers to Netflix. That would be a big
Mm.
hit for Netflix, especially in the last couple of months where they lost quite a few subscribers. Um, but that's why I'm saying that in the new TV deals, they wouldn't go down. You want more than the last one, because usually that's what happens. So it seemed it's interesting. Like I was about to say, that the live sports, I thought, would be one of the last things to stay on live TV, on normal television. But
Right.
now you have the NFL going on the Zone. You have a lot
Mm-hmm.
of soccer that's happening on the Zone and on streaming services. Uh,
Baseball.
Baseball has their yes. MLB will have some games that are only on streaming. So we see this moving towards that. So that might be something that's happening with Netflix, is might be signing Raw and SmackDown. So yeah, give your breaking news.
Well, we knew. Well, we knew. We there was the news that Triple H was trying to get wrestlers from AEW,
Yes, first Malachi
and
Black, and then we have the
yeah,
whole story with Bobby Fish, right? Yeah.
yeah. Well, now there's more details that they tried to contact FDR
Oh, okay.
and Buddy Murphy.
Yeah, I think the whole Malachi Black thing was mentioned with Buddy Matthews. Apparently, I think Malachi straightened this out the other day on an Instagram live,
Right.
saying that he has not left AEW, that he is just time off.
Right.
Apparently, Tony does not want to give the releases that
That's
these people are
correct.
asking for. So that's the rumors we've heard. So he goes, I'm not going to give you a release, but you want time off, you can have it. You can wrestle on Independence, but I'm not giving you your release. We also heard this came out the last Friday, so it was after we did the podcast about Bobby Fish. So, which I used to like Bobby Fish, um, and
Okay.
I use the past term here because from what we heard, the rumors are, and I said I used to like Bobby Fish. Sorry, I like Bobby Fish. I like his gimmick. I like his that he's a mixed martial artist. Uh, but whatever. Apparently, Triple H. Well, not Triple H. Apparently, uh, Bobby Fish approached Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole,
Mm.
saying that they should ask for their releases so
Mm-hmm.
they could go back to Triple H. And apparently, the rat bastard that him I used to like, but I can't stand snitches, and that's why I'm looking straight in the camera to all you snitches out there. Went to go rat to Tony Khan, saying that there was tampering
Mm.
happening. So I understand that Adam Cole has like 4 years left in his contract, but he could have just told Bobby, "Listen, I have 4 years left. I'm enjoying my time here. I want to stay here. Let's not talk about this again." And it's finished there. Now you go run to your boss and say, "Me, me, 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 me." No, that's not cool, man. That's not cool. Snitches get stitches. I want to be clear on that. So yeah, Adam Cole just lost a lot of respect in Kid Crazy's book.
We
And I
got a
used to love
bit
Adam
of
Cole.
Eddie Kingston come out of Kid Crazy too.
Yeah, another guy I really like, Eddie Kingston. I think he
Yeah.
doesn't like snitches either.
No, he doesn't.
So yeah, I was really disappointed in Adam Cole there. I know he was in a hard place.
Yeah.
I know you have 4 years left.
Plus, his
And I'm
girlfriend is there, and
yeah, his girlfriend is there exactly. So I understand that he likes Triple H, and he had a good time with Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels is his idol, but at the same time, he has a job.
Mm.
He has a contract where he's tied to AEW for another 4 years. So I understand why he wouldn't want any headaches or problems, but don't go running to your boss. It's not a good look. So yeah, that was the Bobby Fish Adam Cole story, and that's probably the end of the anything undisputed.
Yeah. So that's, I think, all of the
I think
breaking
there's some
news.
breaking news. So let's start our. The name of the show is Thursday Night Rundown. So let's go for the rundown of this week in wrestling. We should get a theme song to when we start the rundown. You know, like they do in when they run down the Sunday night the Sunday games in football, and they have that background music.
I could hook you up that right now.
So yeah, we started. This is probably my favorite segment of the week, and it was the SmackDown opening. So this what happened was the bloodline comes down to the ring to open SmackDown, and with Solo Sikoa, Sami Zayn, the Usos, and Roman Reigns, and so whatever they each talk a bit, and they each
There you go. There's your music.
type of a promo. Perfect. This is perfect. Type of a little promo they each do, and then Roman Reigns makes Solo
Rocky song.
the Rocky song. Yeah. Roman Reigns makes Solo Sikoa goes. I appreciate you, your family,
Hmm.
but I know the elders because apparently the story is Paul Heyman
Yes.
explained that it's the elders that send Solo Sikoa.
And there's Jeff.
Hey,
What's up, guys?
what's up, Jeff?
Not much.
Yeah,
Not much,
be
man.
okay, sis.
We have a little message here for JLB. Get tanned and you could stay an extra week. We good.
Yeah, stay, because obviously you're not getting any while you're there, so you might as well just. Right.
Exactly.
So once again, guys, sorry I'm late.
No.
Oh no, no problem. No problem.
Work
We just-
before anything.
We just finished. We just finished with the breaking news, so that's you're just in time. We're about to start the rundown. I was talking about the opening segment on SmackDown, where the Bloodline comes out, and Paul Heyman explains that Solo Sikoa was not his idea, and he was sent by the elders. So it's my buddy Joe, one of our listeners here.
Okay.
So yeah, Paul Heyman says he wasn't sent. It wasn't his idea to bring Solo to the Bloodline. That he was sent by the elders. The elders being Alpha and.
We'll stop the music. I'm kidding.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
It's a bit
I was
distracting.
Yeah.
What was Alpha's partner there?
Afan Sika.
Okay, Sika. That's it. So he says
Sika.
that Alpha and Sika, the elders of the Samoan dynasty. Yeah, I got to move my hands to feel like.
Yeah, come on. It's your turn, Mike. It's your turn.
So yeah, that he was sent by the elders. So Roman Reigns tells him, he goes, I don't care if the elders send you. Yes, they might have sent you, and thank you for showing up when you did. But you have to know that when you're in this ring,
Twitch is better than
which is
Facebook.
yes, in a lot of cases it is. That he has to acknowledge him basically, and Solo right away obliges and acknowledges Roman Reigns. And then the best part of the week for me in wrestling was when he makes he asks Sammy to take off the t-shirt. He goes, why are you wearing that Bloodline t-shirt? You must take it off. So and they're really hitting on him, and his facial expressions, Sami Zayn here, are great. Even Jay's all happy, ripping off the t-shirt off of him. And then I don't want to ever see you with that t-shirt again, Roman Reigns says. And he goes, because I got you a new one. And he throws him a new t-shirt. He opens it up and it says honorary use. And his face just changes completely from like scared and sad to like super happy. And he finishes the segment off with a serious and direct, you are my tribal chief and I acknowledge you. And I think that was the moments, the moments, the emotions in that moment were great on both sides. The only problem I have here is the whole thing that he's a heel. You know, they're supposed to be heels, and that had a bit of a babyface feeling there.
But I feel like it's their game's so popular. They're so over. They're so over that they're turning to faces.
Yeah, but that happens a lot though.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. It happens a lot. So it's not gonna be the last, and it's
okay to be over, and still be a heel. You can be fully over and still be a heel. They'll boo you at certain moments when you come out with those heel phrases or whatever, or the cheating or something. But this had a feel good moment to it. This is not something that you know. Sometimes you cheer heel because oh shit, that was a sick promo, that was good. You know?
Right.
This wasn't the case. This is like you feel good moment, even when they hug and like Roman is not reacting to the hug, and then all of a sudden he smiles and then he just reciprocates the hug, and that for me felt like a face moment.
Maybe
And
they're
even
becoming
later
face.
on, sorry,
Maybe they're turning face.
I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know
No,
because then during the last match, it didn't look like they were any way face there. They're still cheating. They're still doing their stuff. It's just that moment I had maybe it was me getting too much into the moment that I felt that, but I saw there a feel good moment for me.
But it's the same thing as when we're gonna go back when Hogan came back when he had the feud with The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
He was a heel.
Yep.
Turned into a face, and it was still cheating until he turned back to the Hogan we love.
But that's something that, like, even if, like, to your point, what you just said, that's a lot of things that, even like when Kevin Nash said in interviews that the NWO's comeback was ill-fated because they didn't follow through with it. Yes, they didn't expect probably that Hogan was going to get a bigger pop than who was faced during that match at WrestleMania. But if you would have made sense, coming off of the heels that they were in WCW, regardless of that he was babyface, that he was a heel, don't turn him babyface. You basically screwed the whole entire angle.
Yeah,
you know.
I agree with that.
So, but where I think the difference with this is, and I get what you're saying, John, about it, but like the comparison to Hogan, I just don't think they're over enough to turn babyface.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I also
agree with that. Yes, they're over, but I think they probably, if they want to keep that heel persona, they should shit maybe a little bit more on the crowd.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like to really get the booing, because
Yeah.
if you know that's how it carries on. Because if not,
he even
I hear
asks, right? Roman Reigns asks wherever it was, Cincinnati, Ohio, acknowledge the tribal chief, and everybody pops.
Yeah.
So I don't think I totally agree with Jeff here, and I hadn't thought about it that way. But he's totally right. I don't think Roman Reigns is at that level yet where he'll be as over as he is now as a babyface.
No.
As a full-blown babyface.
Yeah, look at the other side of the coin. Look at Cena. How many times was Cena getting booed, and he was the ultimate babyface for that period?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
No matter what he did, even in Boston sometimes, which was his hometown, he was getting shit. He was getting shit on. So if you look at the flip side of the coin, you know, he still stayed with that babyface, that, you know, had the hustle, loyalty, and respect stupid tagline that he had. So no matter what, he stayed with it, you know. And Roman, they took a gamble on him because he was getting that Cena initially. He was obviously, as we all know, he was babyface. And they finally said, okay, listen, guys, let's try it and see where it goes. So far, it's worked. I think if he really, and I think this is probably the most over Roman has been, is as a heel.
Yeah.
So to all of a sudden make him babyface, I think it kills his push. So, but I still,
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. I think maybe like a good way. No, I'm just booking off the top of my head here. But maybe if you're gonna try to turn him face to see, because we know that they really want Roman to be this generational superstar for the WWE universe.
the next Cena.
Yeah, basically. What they could try to do maybe is the double turn at WrestleMania with the Rock type of thing. Like have the Rock turn on Roman and have Roman get that sympathy a bit, and maybe the rub of that maybe can put him there. But even at that, I'm not sure he can get there though.
I think a good way, as far as if you're gonna put the Rock into the equation,
where if you almost tease the fact that once Rock comes back before Mania, let's say maybe a Raw or two before Mania, where
Mhm.
he's the heel,
Mhm.
he comes back as he obviously, yes, he's gonna get the crowd pop. Sens sucks, yes.
Oh, Cena.
Okay, there you go.
Cena sucks. Yeah,
So,
that's right, Jay.
so
We
if
heard
he
that chant
if
a
he
lot of
comes
times.
back as the heel, and then you never know, like if he comes back as the heel, but then Roman turns on. I gotta stop doing it. I can't. I can't think straight.
Too hard.
I can't. I was losing track of what I was doing. If let's say if The Rock would come back as heel, so yes, he gets the pop from the crowd, and all of a sudden maybe he starts hugging the Usos and the whole bloodline, but then Roman turns on The Rock before their match at Mania, setting up the match. That I think is a scenario that makes sense for them.
Yes,
So The Rock would be heel?
So no, The Rock would
no,
be
no.
face.
The Rock
Like,
would be face going into the match. Yeah.
Initially, it would be that it's almost like the way I think it would make it work is that they really put Roman over as the heel. Okay? I think the way it would make it work is that almost like if The Rock is leaning towards being a heel because he's leaning towards the bloodline because obviously his family's a part of that lineage,
Right.
and then Roman turns on him,
Yeah.
say, I'm the bigger star than you.
Yeah.
Acknowledge me, and that just sets up the perfect heel babyface match. I mean, that's my opinion.
No, but I think that makes sense because I think that would even make it even bigger for the turn later on because that would establish The Rock as the babyface in this thing, like you just said, and it would establish Roman Reigns as the gimmick he's been playing for the last 3 years, which is the head of the table, the tribal chief. So no, I'm the boss here, and then you'd have maybe the bloodline after the match or during the match turn on Roman and The Rock joining, like not joining but turning heel and turning on Roman, and have Roman at that point become the babyface by himself and get that sympathy from the crowd. Like, okay, you fucked him over, but now these guys are supposed to be loyal to you, have turned on you. Your cousin, which is the biggest Hollywood actor in movies right now, turns on you, and I think maybe that could garner the sympathy that needed to become a big babyface. But like I said before, I don't know if Roman has it in him.
But that's the thing. It's I think The Rock is too big of a star at this point to even try to turn him heel.
Well, because he doesn't really need. He won't show up for years after that. So like,
but that's why I think it's
probably
like
his last time anyway.
His last little run, yeah. But that's the thing. It's like trying to turn him heel. It's not that it's a bad idea what you said, but to turn him heel after all the movies he's doing, after all this run, I don't think he would want to do it. Not the fact that we don't think he should do it or he should be heel. I don't think he would want to do it. Just for his own momentum as a character, as a figure,
I would see why he maybe he would see it as risky.
Yeah.
A bit for his brand.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I agree with that.
Because he's in so many different products, right? He's got his tequila, he's got the energy drinks, he's got obviously his movies and so on and so forth. His $7 production company.
Yeah. Football.
Yeah. Well.
The XFL.
Yeah. If you really count the XFL. Yeah. So, but that's the thing. I think he's gonna want to continue riding that wave of being that top guy. So in this situation, I think, and like I said, Roman, it suits him being a heel.
But it's because maybe it's in my head. I see The Rock being that snobby Hollywood actor, superiority to all these other wrestlers that are just meaningless wrestlers, and him being the biggest star in Hollywood. I think he could pull that off, but so hard. But I think I agree with you because I think that would take a bit more commitment from him. Like you can't just turn heel. If he'd want to turn heel, he'd want to do it full blast, the right way. Like, give me a few promos. Let me destroy the people. Let me, he wouldn't want just a turn like that at the end of a match in WrestleMania, and then you don't see you turn heel, but you turn on his cousin, but then you don't hear from him.
Where's the payoff? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're right there. It makes sense.
And for The Rock to be like a heel, I think we would need more from the family to come in the picture. In a sense of like they said that they brought in Solo, right?
Mhm.
Maybe they say the tribal chief is not doing his job, and we're sending Dwayne.
Yeah,
That's
That
yeah.
could like, oh, am
But
I
that's
doing
a-
good enough?
like an
But it's a-
internal push.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like what Mike said, it's a one off because after Mania
Yeah.
he's gone.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and I think the only other time you might even see him is whenever the XFL launches, just to kind of give the XFL that
Promo.
extra push. Oh, okay, the owner of
Yeah.
the company or of this league rather is on WWE programming. You know,
Yeah,
but
promoting.
it's that's the thing. I think it's just a one off. So that's why I
It would have
always-
to be a build up. It would have to be him turning on a Raw or SmackDown type of thing on Triple H on Roman Reigns, and then having a few promos leading up in the build up leading up to WrestleMania. Then
Yeah.
okay, he would have some time to pull some heel promos. But the more I think about it, the more we discuss it, the more I think it would be hard. I think the setup here would have to be the big baby face with the big
And for that to happen, you had to start like in February for the story.
well,
to
it would
actually,
have to be type of SmackDown. SmackDown. What am I saying? Royal Rumble. He would have
January?
to show up type of thing at
That's
Royal
it.
Rumble,
January, February. Yeah.
and then in the road to WrestleMania, I guess would be the build up. But we're gonna have to see. It just. I was like I super enjoyed that segment, but it just felt a bit weird that feeling I had, like that feel good moment from a clique like this, from a faction like this, that are probably the top heels in wrestling. I just felt it weird, but it was amazing segment, and it was a great way to start off SmackDown.
hmm
Then basically, not much happened after that. A bit Liv and Lacey had a match, and Liv snapped, so they want to make Liv look strong before. So she starts hitting Lacey with the Kindle stick. So they want to make her look strong before Ronda Rousey, but lack of how do I say, like, it really wasn't interesting. Lack of interest from me there. The
But-
Braun, go ahead.
But that table bump,
She
give her
over.
give her
Yeah,
credit.
You mean when she over jumped them?
Yeah, when she overjumped the table. Yes.
Yeah, because she could have got
Wow.
hurt there.
how sad is that the least popular member of the Riot Squad actually became WWE Women's Champion?
Yeah, true. It's true.
It's
weird,
always
huh?
the third member of a faction. See, Moxley, Liv.
It's always the one you don't think. Ruby Riot, I think, was probably the most talented one out of
Yeah.
in that faction.
she had been
Guaranteed.
wrestling a lot longer.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Maybe she's not the best on the mic. Maybe that's what hurts her the most. But she's definitely
But I won't be surprised if she.
Go.
I said, I won't be surprised if she beats Ronda again.
Ooh, I don't know. I think it's time you put it on Ronda. It's not working, this Liv thing. Even when she was giving when she snapped and giving Lacey
I think she's gonna have it until November, guys. Until Survivor Series.
until the War Games, you think? Well, until Survivor Series, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if that's what they want.
Just to
Unless
prove
she's
that
a real big merchandise seller, which I doubt it. The way the she gets the reaction from the fans, I don't really see what else to do with Liv after this if she wins. But I guess we'll have to wait and see.
I see her till November, and then she gets her ass kicked, and you see
But
her
then-
get her time off, and then
Unless she wins because of Shayna or something, and then they have a triple threat.
or maybe
and,
Charlotte pops up and helps.
Yeah, that could be
Liv.
also. That could.
I think this is her last hurrah.
Yeah.
Because you put the championship on her. Sorry,
That's
guys.
Liv is calling her right now.
Yeah, she's calling me. She's calling me.
She's saying, "What are you
But-
trying to say, Jeff? Am I good enough?"
No, but I think they tried to see where it can go, and if they're gonna remove the belt off of her this soon, I don't see her sticking around very much. Because what else are you gonna have for her?
Yeah, exactly.
They put her in a tag division with someone. I don't know.
That's probably what's going to happen, but it's not. it's not going to help her out in her career or her WWE run. I think we spend already a bit too much time on Liv here. But Braun Strowman versus Otis.
You could skip this.
Yeah.
It wasn't a 5-star match or anything.
I'm not interested with Braun.
But it was I was impressed with Braun power bombing Otis though. I
Twice.
thought, oh my god, he's gonna drop him on his head.
I think he pulled him. He pulled a muscle.
no,
No, seriously, because the way he was walking and he felt his back, I think he pulled something.
Who's
yeah,
this?
Braun.
Braun Strowman.
yeah, Braun Strowman.
Wasn't he?
Powerbomb.
Wasn't he? Didn't he compete in strongman
I
competition?
think he did.
Yeah.
I think he did, but I don't know. I didn't notice the limping there. Does Lita still wrestle? I like her acrobatics. Well, she did come back recently for a few segments, but
Crown
no,
Jewel.
she hasn't. Oh, actually, she wrestled at WrestleMania, right?
And Crown
Last
Jewel.
year?
Yeah.
And Crown Jewel, that's right. And Crown Jewel, that's right. You're right. And so she came back for a short period of time. She still does some appearances for segments, like
Yeah.
former champions and stuff like that, but she's not there on a regular basis. There, yeah. Well, Braun Strowman basically gave 2 power bombs to Otis, but the
Right.
first one I really thought they were gonna pull. What was that time that that wrestler that wanted to stiff the other Bob what's his name, Brock Lesnar and Sparkplug or hardcore Bob Holly,
Yeah.
Okay.
when they had a match in that first run of Brock Lesnar, and Bob Holly wasn't a big fan of Brock Lesnar, so he stiffed up when it was time for the power bomb. You know, when you make yourself
Yeah.
heavy there, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And Brock literally dropped him on his head. He wasn't having it. He still tried, and he literally dropped him on his head. He broke his neck actually. So I was scared that like something like that was going to happen. I'm like, no, he won't be able to do it. But Otis pulled through, and that was an impressive moment. I guess they're going towards that buildup of Omos, and because Omos also on Raw later on destroyed 2 other guys, but those were jobbers. He faced 2 guys. This was more of actually Otis is an amateur wrestler. He's okay, and a better worker, let's say.
This is what kills my, what's the word I could use? In other words, I really don't care about Braun or Otis. Like,
I think Braun is interesting. We'll see where they're gonna go with him. Alpha Academy and they're okay. I think there should
They
be
could
more
assume-
with Gable
yes,
Gable
that's what
than
I'm
a
saying.
comedy act. But now
Right.
we'll have Gable and the Braun Strowman on. Is it tomorrow or on Raw? I don't know if it's on SmackDown or on Raw. I think it's on Raw next week on Monday.
I would.
So he's probably going to get destroyed there. Yeah, then Drew does a promo and basically calls out Karrion Kross, and they will he brings to the ring a strap, and they will have a strap match. So
That's
the segment ends-
interesting.
yeah, that's interesting. At the end of the segment, Drew puts the strap around Karrion Kross and gives Karrion Kross kind of a beating there, and gets on. The segment ends where he's on top. So that should be a good match with Drew and Karrion Kross. It should be a hard-hitting strap match.
And Scarlett went in the front to stop the
Yes, and Scarlett's the one who basically saved Karrion Kross from.
I'll give Triple H credit where he's actually willing to put these matches that WWE rarely, if at all, ever had.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like strap matches. You know, the War Games, it's fine. It's like, okay, well, you own the IP, so you're just putting it on a bigger stage as opposed to just NXT.
Yeah.
But how many times have you ever seen a strap match in WWE?
I think
In a long time.
I think you could definitely count it on the fingers of one hand.
Yeah.
I think it's 3, if maybe 4
If
at the most.
that, most.
Yeah. And I'm talking about like a long time ago, like Big John Studd days there.
The last time if you talk about the strap matches, the last time I think of it, it's Martel and Roberts.
Yeah, no, but that was blindfold. That was a blindfold
match.
But they're still strapped.
No, they weren't. They were blindfolded
to each other.
Then...
No.
They were blindfolded, and they had to.
Yes. I got mixed up.
There's been strap matches. You would
Let me
have to.
Google this.
Yeah, Google it because you'll see them. There's been 3, 4.
Yeah,
I think
I
not
don't
more
think
than
there's
that.
very many. Yeah.
I don't think there's
Yeah.
been more than that.
Yeah.
Then Dakota Kai and Raquel. So there's a bit of a story there behind. There used to be tag team partners, NXT tag team champions, women's tag team champions.
The last one was the Finn and Daniel Bryan.
The Fiend
The
or
Fiend.
Finn Balor?
The Fiend.
The Fiend. The Fiend. The Fiend.
Okay. Yeah, the Fiend versus Daniel Bryanson. Okay, see
Okay.
that was not too long ago, but
Okay.
that's how bad that run with the Fiend was. That I don't remember a strap match with Daniel Bryanson Daniel Bryan. Yeah, I completely forgot that one. So Kai versus Raquel, an okay match. They actually put through. I would like to see Raquel here as a turn heel. I don't like Raquel as face. She's Braun's girlfriend. I think to get her to the next level, I think she needs to be a monster and like destroy people and stuff like that. But whatever, I understand the whole Damage Control is heel, so she had to be for this program. She has to be a face. What else? There's the main event, which was the Brawling Brutes, right?
Yeah, that was a good match.
Against the Usos. Yeah.
It was a very good match.
It feels like Sheamus is really face now.
Yeah, I think that group is face.
The reaction they're getting, you wouldn't think so, but I guess maybe a change of route happened at Clash at the Castle there for Sheamus. That reception and the ovation he got after the match, I think gave Triple H
to go to a show when they come
to Fresno. Yeah, they actually go to Fresno a lot. WWE actually go to Fresno, California a lot. I think it's in the university, Fresno University arena, if I'm not mistaken, that they actually go there at all. Every time they're in the Northern California area, which is San Jose, San Francisco, Oakland, all that, they always go to Fresno. And
the bloodline's from there.
Who?
The bloodline is from there, no?
Yeah, I think some of them are from California, but don't they all live in Florida?
Yeah, Pensacola, no, or something like that.
Yeah, Pensacola, that's it.
Yeah, Pensacola, yeah, that's where they're from. So that was
something like that. Yeah.
So from Pensacola, hey woo, the Usos versus the Brawling Brutes was a very good match. About from Tulare, about 30 minutes, Fresno, yeah. So yeah, that was a good match. I really enjoyed it. Then there was Rampage, and we had what's his name, Brody, to start off, opening House of Black. Brody and Buddy, that's his name, Buddy Matthews, versus Darby and Sting. It was a good match there too.
45.
Okay, 45. That was a good match there too.
30, 45.
Yeah, pretty close there. That was a good match. Some scary moments there for Sting there. That bump on the table was a bit scary. Every time he takes these bumps, Sting, man, it's really...
that's the thing, man. This guy's 62 years old. And
yeah,
yes, he doesn't wrestle. He doesn't wrestle all the time, but it's just like you have to.
I think it's in his contract. Must take bump.
Must take at least one big bump a match.
But the thing is that he doesn't have to, but he still does it.
Yep.
Like even I think I can't remember which show it was. I think it was when they were wrestling the House of Black, where he jumped up the stage, like where the entranceway.
Yep.
It's like 60 at 62, man.
Yeah, that's
it's
what he can do at 62. He looks in shape. He looks. Yes, obviously when he's moving around and you see a bit of the age, it's only normal. He's fucking 62 years old. But to be pulling off these matches and to be pulling off these bumps, because anything could go wrong, man, sometimes with these things. And at that age, I think he's had hip surgery before. So yeah, man, that was and I know you enjoyed this. Great Muta coming out to help Sting. That was nice.
I didn't expect it, and all of a sudden when I saw his name on the Titantron, I saw him come out. I was like, oh shit, yeah. But I loved it, and just the whole. Even though he was only like what he did was small, but it's so he's such an iconic name.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think he's probably has to be probably the biggest name to come out of Japan. I mean, Inoki, yes,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
worldwide, yes,
Yeah, I know.
but yeah, other than Inoki, Great Muta, and just look at the crowd, and when he spit the green mist, everything that they do, like
That pop was
Alistair
huge.
Black does it,
Yeah.
all these other guys who have spit mist, it's all from Great Muta.
Yep.
You know, and it's the pop that he got, and you know, and he kind of reinvented himself because he always had a face paint. Now he's actually wearing a mask.
Yeah.
You know,
It's funny
think
because in New Japan or whatever, not New Japan, he's in
Noah.
Noah now. Yeah, Noah.
Yeah.
I don't think he wears a mask in Noah. Because
No, because I think he wrestles, because I know he's wrestled a lot as his real name.
okay.
I know he's wrestled some matches as his real name. I can't remember what it is. I think it's Akira something. I could be wrong, but I'm not gonna. Don't quote me on that.
Mm.
But obviously, his money is the Muta, wrestling under Great Muta. You know,
And that was basically to set up a final match, and his final match will be with Sting in Japan.
yeah, that's awesome.
So
Yeah,
that's
because Sting was always over in Japan. Every time they went to WCW, went to Japan, there would be a New Japan and WCW collaboration.
How old is Muta? Is the Great Muta?
I would say in his maybe late 50s.
Okay, so he would be younger than Sting.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but give me a second. Let me check this out. Because, but yeah, that's another guy too that, despite the age, I think he could still go. Let's just face it. This is not going to be like a Ric Flair retirement match. This guy's he's gonna go. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But,
they're gonna go. Obviously, it's not gonna be a 5-star match, but I think they can put together a good enough match for this to have.
He's 59.
59. You see, so he's 3 years younger than Sting.
Yeah.
And Sting doesn't look 3 years older than Muta there.
But even Muta doesn't look like he's almost in his 60s.
He looks in shape. Yeah, he has a bit of a great beard, but so do I. So you know, so that really doesn't say anything. But he looks in great shape. Those arm drags that he was doing seemed pretty good and pretty on point. So that was fun to watch. Watch Muta, him, the pop that he got from spitting the mist into Julia Hart. That got a huge pop.
Wasn't it into Buddy Matthews, and he backed off? And
that's right. And
Julia,
she's the one that over jumped the table. Right?
The table, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's
right.
That
looked like she would have gotten hurt from that.
Yeah, she could have got hurt there. Yeah, that's right. That's right. It was Buddy. You're right. It was Buddy Matthews. I guess that was the way to write off Buddy Matthews for a few weeks off TV, from getting the mist. But yeah, it was a cool segment there. Hit us on that nostalgic little thing that everybody has and likes to see these things happen every once in a while.
Because when it's done well, it makes sense. You know, a lot of times you would see guys like in WWE come back and it's that quick pop from the crowd, but then it fizzles out right away. You almost forget they were there.
Yeah.
But when it's the way AEW has booked it lately, when they're having these big names coming back, whether it would be when Jake showed up or, you know, Muta is there, it's done well enough that you remember it. So Great Muta being there, we'll remember it. It's not going to be like
with Sting,
yeah, that was fun. Then we go on to the Jericho Appreciation Society's Danny Magic and Cool Hands Angelo Parker versus Hook and Action Bronson. So the rapper gets big guy, some good shoulder blocks there. I guess the plan here was not to make him do too much, to expose him there, but I think it was done well. Man, Hook, I know his dad was the suplex machine, but Hook can go. Hook can throw some suplexes also.
I just hope for him it's not, because yes, Taz did a lot of suplexes, but they were so high impact. But I think even for Taz, he did them, but it wasn't just that.
Yeah.
If you're just gonna have Hook just do like suplexes and he does the Taz mission or Red Rum, sorry, that it's called.
Mm-hmm.
He's not gonna. He'll get over, but we'll get over him, which like in a negative way.
And I think we've seen that already in how hot he was at the beginning and how it's fizzled down a bit since then.
Because I think Taz was also smart enough to that he's trained in the old school way too. That yes, he has his signature moves, but he had to develop some form of ring work that he just didn't have to rely on the suplexes all the time.
Yeah, that's something he's definitely lacking yet, and he's young. He probably has time to learn, and I think that's Taz as his teacher could happen. Yeah. It's the in-ring psychology. Yeah. It's important in the match where you're the in-ring psychology and the storytelling of that match. You work an arm, you work. There's a little injury there. The guy you work on that. I think he still has to work on it. He's a bit green there. I think moveset wise, he's there. He can put on good matches, but he can't put on great matches because the psychology and the storytelling is not there yet. Right. I think he has to go there, but it was fun. Yeah, it was fun with Action Bronson. He's pretty powerful. A few shoulder blocks here, a shoulder block there, and they went through the match pretty well. Obviously, 2.0. I don't know if they have a tag team name other than Jericho Association.
They're not known as 2.0 anymore.
Yeah, so obviously they helped out. They made them look. They made them the other two look even better. But it was a bit of a fun match. The next match really didn't do much for me. I was expecting more. Maybe I was disappointed. Was Josh Woods and Tony Nese versus Wardlow and Samoa.
Nese is never gonna be anything.
You seem to really like his last name though.
Yeah, he said Nese there 7 times in an 8-word sentence.
It's
he's not the most charismatic. Those abs. I'm done with those abs.
But he's a good worker. That's what.
He is.
See, when I think of
he's good to have in your company. That's for sure. Like
when I think of Nese, I think of Page.
Which Page?
Adam Page or Ethan Page?
Ethan.
Oh, okay.
No, not Adam. Whoa.
Okay. Well, I think Adam Page is a bit more charismatic and is better on the mic.
Yeah, but they're not doing nothing with him.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to start seeing this whole All Elite. Well, wait, we're getting to it. We're getting to it because in this Rampage, he absolutely squashed Danhausen, right?
Yeah,
but then he gets squashed by everyone. That's not new.
Yeah, but he could. I think we were talking about Ethan Page, right?
Yeah.
But he could. If you're going to compare him to Tony Nese, and I'll just say his last name once, not to confuse him. But
Tony,
he could. Yeah. I know what you mean, John. That like he's kind of fizzled out a little bit, but at least he could compare. If you're going to compare them both, he can cut a better promo than Tony Nese.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
so I mean, if you have to really pick and choose, your better value is with Ethan Page.
Oh, 100%.
Why he hasn't gotten there? That could be booking too. So I mean, I'm not going to fault Ethan Page on it. I'll fault Tony.
No, but that's what I mean. They're not doing nothing with him.
Yeah. We'll see now with this whole All Atlantic push.
Yeah, I like this faction that he's in. Yeah. When I think with Scorpio Sky, he was kind of and like they had Dan Lambert be the mouthpiece. But I think Scorpio Sky was the workhorse in that tag team.
Yeah.
Whereas that's where I think he got lost a little bit.
What happened with Scorpio and Lambert?
Scorpio, I think, got hurt.
Yeah, I think Dan was probably on a per appearance basis. I don't think he signed a deal.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, he owns one of the biggest.
I think
one of the biggest MMA gyms in the country. So
American top team. Yeah. So he's okay. He doesn't need Tony Khan's money for appearances.
No.
I think it would have worked out better for Ethan Page if he would have been the mouthpiece of that tag team and not Dan Lambert. And I understand why they put Dan Lambert there, because Dan Lambert does get a reaction, can get a lot of heat from the crowd. But I think that hurt Ethan Page there, because if Ethan Page would have been able to get those reactions and that heat from the crowd, I think he would have been somewhere else right now. So
Do you see Page? I just popped in my head as like if they made a faction with only Canadian wrestlers.
They tried that in Impact. I mean, yeah, they got over because Josh Alexander was it wasn't a faction.
It was a tag team, yeah.
It was a tag team, but it's I don't know.
Well, they've tried that before. I think the only one that's even like that even came close to having any success was obviously the
Hart Foundation.
The Hart Foundation when they all got together there.
Well, you have Brett, you have Owen,
Brian Pillman.
Bulldog and Pillman.
You have 4 guys that are all big names.
They did it in Impact with
Team Canada.
Petey Williams.
Oh
yeah. Oh yeah.
And that didn't pick up too much. It was okay, but I guess it was over in Impact in TNA, but it never really got like the exposure that it got in AEW. I think they have some pretty good Canadian wrestlers there.
Yeah.
As a heel faction, because I think it would need to be a heel faction, especially 100%. Since they tore the States. I think it would have to be a heel faction. But Christian Cage being the leader of this heel Canadian team could work. Could work.
But don't have them dressed like the Team Canada and Impact, where it just looked like vanilla, like just shit. Everyone's dressed in the white and red. Everyone has a maple leaf on their logo.
Yeah.
Have some identity that yes, we're Canadian, kind of like the Hart Foundation had it. They were pretty much dressed in black all the time. Mm-hmm. They might have had a T-shirt that had that written Hart Foundation with a maple leaf, but don't do it too obvious. Like, hey, look at us, we're dressed in red and white, and it's gonna look cheesy.
Yeah, it's a bit too much. I completely agree there. Maybe you have your normal gear and maybe have a T-shirt to sell for merchandise with for the faction. But each have their own gear, not have matching red, and I agree that the matching red and white gear tights there wasn't the strong part of that faction of Team Canada. And Scott D'Amore is Canadian also, which is the head of he's the head of booking, I think. Yeah, booking at TNA. So
no, he's the EVP. No, isn't he one of the EVPs? Don Callis?
Okay, yeah, that's it.
I don't know if Don Callis is still EVP, but
I think behind the scenes, the behind the scenes, his on-air character is that he's the head booker. Yeah, that's right. But maybe he is the backstage also one of the head bookers. But I mean, yeah, you're right. It's executive vice president. Then we had this was a very good match. Jungle Boy versus Ray Phoenix. That was some very good back and forth. But I don't know if you guys agree with this. I thought about it when I saw this match, and I have to remember to bring it up on the podcast. Is it time for Jungle Boy to just be Jack Perry and leave that Jungle Boy gimmick behind, or
a long time ago, man?
With the boots and the tights and everything.
I would lose the Jungle Boy when he started the feud with Christian.
I don't mind it because the crowd gets behind his entrance music.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think that's what helps him. Whereas if he just becomes just your average wrestler, it's just like, and coming to the ring from California, Jack Perry.
Yeah.
There you go. Done.
It's true. It's true that it would leave him a bit stale there.
Yeah. So I think if you stay on getting attitude, having a little bit like when he cut his promo on Dynamite this week. Well, it wasn't on the show, but like that backstage thing, like the pre-recorded. Giving him a little bit more attitude, that helps the character where the whole Jungle Boy thing doesn't hurt him. But him staying with that entrance music, that's what keeps him relevant, I think. As silly as it might sound that, how is an entrance music? It helps. Because the crowd gets behind him.
Yeah.
You know? If he comes out to just some, let's say, generic music that they create for him, it's gonna kill him. So
they are using more the Jack Perry. So before, when you used to only hear Jim Ross say Jungle Boy Jack Perry, now they're all saying it. So they're trying to humanize him a bit more, especially since this feud with Christian Cage. But I was just wondering if that could do more. But Jeff explained it well there, how it would need something more than just Jack Perry. So okay. But this match was off the hook. Some spots back and forth. Ray Phoenix, man, Ray Phoenix is a generational talent there. They need to, I don't know, find something, or maybe separate the Lucha Bros and have them have them go against each other in a rivalry. They've done it before.
Okay.
They could probably put on some sick matches, and maybe that can put Ray Phoenix to the next level that he needs to be, because this guy deserves more than just being a tag team.
I think that would serve, and I agree with that. That would serve Ray Phoenix really well, but it hurts the AEW tag team division, because you separate that tag team. It's I think it's the best tag team division in any company.
100%.
I'm not taking away with anything from the Usos or Street Profits. I think they're good, but if you look at the quality tag teams, you know, it sucks that, you know, Buddy Matthews is leaving, because him and Brody was good as a tag team, and even with Malachi Black being away, having those guys shine was good for them. All the other tag teams that are around AEW. So if you take away the Lucha Bros, it might hurt the. It might hurt the tag team division a little bit.
It's always a go-to option for you, and if anything, if you ever need a tag team, Lucha Bros can probably put on one of their best matches of the night when you need a good tag team match.
They have to get rid of Alex Abrahantes.
Yeah, because I think he's useless in this.
No, he comes out with, he looks like he's Michael Jackson with the one glove on, I think. Or
what is that? It's true.
And then when he was acting like you know how was it Penta Oscuro, when he was kind of like that darker, and he's coming out, he looks like a druid. I mean, come on. Like I think
that was more the reason, is because when Ray was hurt and they went through that dark Penta. Penta's not that great in English. Ray is a bit better in English than Penta. So I guess that's why they brought him in. But I totally agree that with this tag team, when they're together, he seems useless there.
Yeah,
you know, Penta will say something in Spanish, and then Penta says, "Okay, we don't need you to tell me what Penta said."
That got over a little bit. Now it's done.
It's got to move on. It became stale, and got to move on. So really enjoyed that match. But I didn't enjoy the finish. I wrote it here.
Did you?
I'm fed up of cradle, or what do they call, rollover pins, cradle pins. We're finishing in these types of finishes. What do they call them? Well, it's a rollover or a cradle.
Schoolboy.
Well,
It's just that if it works if it involves interference. So in other words, if someone gets hit, and then you roll them over, 1, 2, 3, fine. But they could have maybe done a little bit better for the finish, because sometimes people like it, sometimes people don't.
That's it. Maybe the match was so good that the finish deserved to be a bit better than just a roll up, and maybe that's why I didn't like it. But Christian is back with his arm in what do you call those, in the
sling?
In the sling. Thank you. In a sling, and so Luchasaurus comes out and attacks Jungle Boy. So I think Christian is hurt for a while, so we might actually get to see a Jungle Boy Luchasaurus kind of rivalry, or just a one-off match.
Having Christian still there is great, though. You could still cut a killer promo.
Yeah. Right.
But I've been saying it for a while, though, that for if anything, to get, like you were mentioned before, to get away from the Jungle Boy character, if anyone has to get away from any silliness, it's Luchasaurus. We all know what you look like. You were on national TV on a reality show. Take off your mask. Get a gimmick name or something. His work is okay. It's not the greatest. His work is okay. Just get rid of drop the mask.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
All they did was change the color of the mask, right, from green to black, basically. So they're trying to make him like the. I hate comparisons like this, but what they're trying to do is trying to make him like that type of Kane character, right?
I was about to say that he's the BS version of Kane.
Yeah.
The BS version.
Yeah. It's the welfare, the
He's
food
the
stamp
welfare.
version.
Yes. For our English listeners who don't know what BS means, he's the welfare version.
Yeah, it's kind of a cheap cheap version of Kane. They're trying to make him look like the destroyer. People are scared of him, but no, it's not. It's not getting there. It's not getting that reaction. So yeah, maybe a different look for him wouldn't hurt, and completely separated from Christian and Jungle
No,
Boy.
I
Hey.
think being with Christian would help him because he'd have a mouthpiece.
Yeah,
But it's the mask. For me, it's the mask.
yeah. The mask doesn't do it there too much. I would like to see him in a match with Wardlow, like maybe in a little. I know he's a heel, so maybe it would fit good. You know, have him attack Wardlow and
But
something
even
like that,
Warlow,
because-
he even
Yeah, you can get it out. Go ahead, take your time.
even Warlow has lost his
It's mojo.
mojo.
Yeah.
Well, speak, and that's if it. I wonder how much booking is or how much decision he had into it. It's that whole Powerbomb Symphony shit. They killed it. They killed his push with that.
Yeah.
If that's his finisher, fine. You want to do one or two, but there was some matches where he's doing like 10. It's like, okay, we get it. You can powerbomb somebody. And I'm sorry, his power bombs are not as impactful if you would compare it to a guy like, we go back a little bit, Sid or Kevin Nash. You know, it's
or even Undertaker. Last Ride was much
Yeah,
more impactful.
yeah,
Power bomb
absolutely. Because
than
the power
Balor.
bomb works with bigger guys. It feels more it's like, oh shit, this guy's big. He's lifting him up high in the air. Wardlow's he's not a small guy by any stretch, but like Morrissey. If Morrissey would use that as his finish,
Yeah.
he's a big guy, 7 feet tall. Okay, but I think
That would make more sense. Yeah. I think that hurts.
That's
I think
something I would see.
He needs a very impactful feud here to bring back
Well,
something that
Morrissey-
will intrigue people.
Morrissey versus Warlow would be good.
Well, because they're two. Well, yeah. Actually, no. Actually, yeah. They
already wrestled, but it was a squash.
Right.
It's
but
true. It's true. It's part of that. It's true. So that kills it right there.
That's the problem.
That's
That's
true.
the problem.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
we
That kills it right
we
there.
could erase that, and
Yeah, because now he's in a new. Well, it's true. No, you're right. Because he's in a new faction, but I think he has to lose the belt
100%.
and then get it back later on.
He's a chaser. He's not a chap. He's a chaser.
Yeah, he has to get his heat. He has to get his
Mojo.
He has to have like a little bit of he has to get his heat back. So lose it. That he's pissed off. He's enraged. He's like angry to get it back. That builds it.
Yeah, have some sick matches on his way back to trying to get a title, whether it's the TNT or whether it's the AEW title. But have him, I think he needs to lose it to try to get back that sympathy from the crowd when he starts having some good matches back to back. Oh, that was a good match. That was a good match. I'm beating some significant people, and then he could be in a position where people actually believe that he deserves a shot again.
Right.
So that's it. Then this next match. Another match that I really liked. Not my favorite wrestler, Sammy Guevara, but they put on a good match with Eddie Kingston, and I like the start of the match there when he's telling him, I want to apologize for what happened last time, but it's just because you're a fat fucking piece of shit, and Eddie Kingston just lost it. So because to put everybody in context, this happened in a feud before where he called him a fat piece of shit, and apparently he hadn't advised Eddie Kingston of it beforehand, before the promo. Eddie Kingston got pissed, and backstage he slapped Sammy Guevara. He got suspended for it. So now they're turning this a bit into a real feud or real heat there into a wrestling match there.
I'm so sick and tired of Sammy Guevara. Okay, and this is why.
Amen.
Yesterday was so annoying seeing him and Ty kissing every 2 fucking seconds.
That's what
I tried to zone them out. Like when
literally, I was
watching.
watching like this, Every time I saw their face.
I was like, it was a decent segment. Like the segment was okay, but
Yeah.
seeing them in frame, like it's like I get it. You're married to her. We get it. It's this gimmick
think
is
they
not
get it.
getting over.
I think they get it the wrong way because people hate it. People hate it on social media, so they think it gets them heat.
Yeah, it's the wrong kind of heat. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the heat where I want to change channel when you're fucking making out like that.
I'm not a big fan of his wrestling. It's okay. I mean, I'll give him credit. I know I've been a little bit hard on him on the show, but he's not bad. But this just hurt. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't help him at all.
No,
like
whatsoever.
you know, yes, you're married to her, fine, but
Good for you.
that's it. It's just like I think I might have said it last show. Send him to ROH.
Yeah, I think he might be more successful there.
Yeah, send him to ROH.
That would be. Hey, Serge. Hope everything's okay. J'espère que t'es correct.
Sadaro.
Salut, Michel.
Yeah, then Jade versus Diamante. Nothing of importance there. Jade won, and Trina, the baddest bitch in the 305. Trina basically didn't turn on Diamante, but kind of came into the ring after Jade won, and they kind of like
Who?
Became friends. Trina, the rapper or whatever, singer.
No, I know. But I was gonna say who's gonna be the one that beats
Jade?
Okay.
Well, this is the thing about it.
The only thing for me it makes sense, and I think I might have said this, is when Chris Statlander comes back.
It's true, she's injured, huh?
Is she over enough to be the person to?
But that's
I think so, because she got away from the stupid alien gimmick.
Yeah.
So that was helping her. Unfortunately, she couldn't
injured,
continue her push because she got injured again.
Yeah.
It's like the second time now in about a year and a half, maybe, or 2 years almost. So
Because she was getting over. She was
Yeah.
on her way to getting over because people were liking the new Chris. Her with the best friends was getting a reaction from the crowd. It's unfortunate she was about to get no.
no, that was very simple. Dramatic pause. Dramatic pause. Nope.
Yeah, so I think she was on her way to get that over, and she was about to get a title shot, if I'm not mistaken, at that point, and bang, she got hurt. So yeah, I could see where, but I think they want somebody big. They want like somebody big,
Like Saraya.
That's the only person that I think is over enough, other than
Well, 'cause
Britt. But I don't think
yeah.
I don't think Britt.
No.
I don't think
But
that's what they
Saraya
want.
doesn't need a TBS title. She needs the world title.
Well,
First of all, we don't even know if she can wrestle.
That's
Well,
true.
that's true also.
Yeah.
That's true also. She
Because
kind
if
of
you-
denied it. She kind of denied it, but
Because
but
if
she was
you-
nowhere close to being in the Lumberjacks.
that's what I
around the
say.
ring.
She left.
Yeah.
But,
So-
but Britt winning the TBS title might be good for her too, because it could just enhance her heel character, where she could say, "Hey, I'm the only female to have won or to have held every women's title in AEW."
Do you think?
That's true.
Yes.
And I thought,
But Jade would have to be a babyface in this.
And I thought of this when I saw
Maybe.
her making this match. Since Kenny is not, well, he's suspended.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think she's like could be the female GM and taking care of the women division?
Who?
Saraya.
Sarai.
I don't think so.
Oh yeah.
She
Yeah,
could.
maybe
She
on
could do it.
camera,
Yeah,
yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
I think she would be
I
good
like-
in that
do you
role
think-
even.
And that's it.
But
Do you think she's there
I
as
don't-
a role and not to wrestle? Because she signed a 3-year contract. So-
I don't think it's to be GM. I think the whole point and it's not that she wouldn't be good in it. She was good at SmackDown GM. She did it well. She can do it on the mic, but I don't think that's why she's in AEW.
I would love to
I
see her
think
wrestle.
the final. I think where they want to get to is her wrestling. They just want to get her cleared first.
Yeah.
So before she's cleared, don't get involved like in no physicality.
Well, it's like
But
she
if she
said,
can't wrestle, I think it would be more as a leader of a faction type of women faction type of thing.
There you go. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly. You took
Well,
the
it's
words
like-
right out of my mouth.
it's like what she said. She's damaged, not broke.
But not broken, yeah. And you saw a bit of that with the girls that she brought into the ring with Athena, Tony Storm, basically the baby faces of the women's
And
division.
it's funny when she said that your name rhymes with shit.
Brit.
Oh, Brit, yeah.
That was funny. That was funny.
Kind of easy there, but but whatever.
It is funny. It's funny.
Brit was there with her faction, well, her clique, which now includes
Debbie.
Serena Deeb.
Oh yeah, Serena Deeb came after, but I mean the one that came with the
Who the hell
one
is
that was-
Debbie?
no, the one that came out with her and Jamie Hayter before Serena Deeb came out,
Rebel was there. Jamie Hayters.
and the other one, like, god damn it, now I'm getting a blank.
I don't see no one else there.
Yeah. She was when Brit came out first.
Yeah.
There was Jamie Hayter with her black
Right.
pants, white top. There was
Right.
Rebel behind her, and then there was another one next to Rebel. And
It's true because there was 4 girls and then they kind of split apart, and that's when Serena came
I
back.
don't
yeah.
I don't
That's
know.
true, yeah.
I don't know who it is. And there was a narrow face with a white top that I have no idea who that is either.
Well, that was Jamie Hayter.
No. I'm talking about
In the ring.
face in the ring
Oh,
because you had Storm, you had the girl from Ring of Honor, Willow.
Yeah,
Willow. You had Athena, and you had another girl that I have no idea who she is either.
here we go. I think this one might tell me what I need to know.
If you people who are watching, oh look who decided to say something.
Oh,
Hola, mi-
Hola,
Okay,
mi
get that-
amigos.
get that off the screen.
¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás, amigo? Fala español?
It's not this one. God damn it. I'm not gonna
Tequila, cerveja.
Cerveja. I think your Spanish is better than your Portuguese. But I can't find it. I forgot. But she's a big name, man. That's why I'm
Penelope Ford.
Oh, that's it. Penelope Ford.
Ford.
That's it. Thank you there.
About
Thank
time
you
he
there.
shows up. He doesn't need to show
Um,
up. He could stay in
No,
Mexico.
he doesn't. Yeah, please don't encourage him. Don't inflate his ego, please. No.
Stay there with your peanuts.
Yeah,
What? Oh, peanuts.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's my extent of my Spanish. Well, yeah, you can barely speak English.
It's all love.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's true.
so-
Penelope Ford. How could we forget? Yeah, forget she was there.
It's the
I'm happy
makeup.
for I'm happy for her that she actually is now going to be involved in something, because okay, she sometimes she pulls off matches, and I really like her in the ring, but she was like a filler, fill up when we need her in a match. then
Yeah,
put her-
because they were a part of like the whole Matt Hardy, the Matt
Yes,
Hardy office, whatever.
Yeah.
family office, yeah.
Yeah, like with her and the bunny, and so I think her being away from that is good. It's different. So.
Yeah, and I like them keeping. We didn't see Kip here, so
Yeah, that's
so
true.
I enjoy that she's getting her own light to
He was
shine
busy
on.
talking to the box.
Yeah, or playing some video games with Myro. So yeah, and then there was the battle royal, and
The Battle Royal.
to get to know who has the number one contender here, and I was really surprised to see Brian Cage,
Where was this?
Rampage.
Oh, Rampage.
Yeah, we were talking
Okay.
about Rampage.
Because that scene that you're talking about wasn't Dynamite.
No, it was on Dynamite because we were talking about Jade versus Diamante.
Yes,
and
yes.
who
I'm
could
sorry.
beat, who could beat
I-
Jade, and Britt was
That's
brought
right.
up. In
I
the thing.
apologize. I'm off
So-
centered.
So it was the battle royal and the return of Brian Cage here, and Brian Cage being presented as a member of ROH.
Well, isn't he part of Ring of Honor?
Well, yeah, he's part of a faction in
Oh.
Ring of Honor, but I mean,
Yeah.
Ring of Honor doesn't exist.
Oh,
yet.
the Tully Blanchard faction, right?
Yeah, which he's gone. Apparently, he's gone from
Yeah.
that. They released him completely,
Yeah.
or something happened backstage or something.
Maybe he comes back with his daughter though.
Could be. It could be. Do they want to take a chance? I'm really surprised she hasn't been signed anywhere. So I'm like really starting to think that nobody wants to touch her.
I follow her a lot on social media, and she does like a lot of these workout things. You never know. I mean, Tully Blanchard coming back, and he shows up with his daughter on AEW.
Mm-hmm. I would be sold for it, guaranteed. Hey, she is the only woman that was world champion in a big promotion. So
yeah, that killed it though, because she was world champion for 6 months. That killed. If it was a one-off, okay, but I think she killed that TNA title.
Yeah.
It'd be not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be sexist here.
No. It's not about that at all. No.
But I'm not saying you guys. I'm saying anyone listening. Anyone listening to me. Hey, listen. But I think if it was like a month or two, okay. But 6 months, and then she's beating 3 guys in a 4-way match. Like let's keep. Yeah, Brian Cage was in there. Let's keep in mind, wrestling is supposed to be the suspension of disbelief.
Yeah.
But it has a simulated real fight. What are the odds of her beating 4 guys that are like 3 times her size?
Yeah, I get that 4-way match was a bit weird there. They could have done it better, especially using a 4-way match to not make it look so stupid. Like maybe she's after somebody else does a finisher and she like maybe takes advantage of that finisher and covers somebody. Would have been a better way to finish it off than having her cleanly win like that. But she did put on some bangers with with what's his face, Solomon. Well, his name was Solomon in WWE, but what's his name? The guy, John. Sami Callihan, exactly.
Sami Callihan, yeah.
Oh, Sami Callihan. Sami Callihan. She put on some bangers with Sami, and that feud was actually pretty good. But I agree that definitely her showing up with Tully would like be a big thing. It would get a big pop, big reaction. It would be over right away. I don't know how long it would last, but it would be over right away.
But getting back what you were saying with Brian Cage, it's too bad that I think Team Taz hurt him a little bit because I think alone he would have been good.
Like really, like was it really what the wife said that really made them want to bury Brian Cage?
It didn't help.
Yeah, it didn't help, but it's been almost 2 years.
What did she say?
Well, she basically threw Tony Khan under the bus for not booking Brian Cage the right way. She pulled one of those Matt Hardy wife things. See, I understand how it could have hurt like Tony Khan, but after a while, man, it's almost 2 years ago. Like, let it go.
I think Tony. Yeah, I think Tony has some at moments. He's shown that he has thin skin, and you can't be like that if you're gonna run a wrestling company.
Definitely. We saw the way he's been acting since since Clash at the Castle paper weekend with All Out, and how them booking 2 shows on the same weekend really hurt his feelings, and how he's been always throwing jabs at them. So yeah, I can see how he's thin skinned. But obviously we knew that Adam Page was probably going to be winning this battle royal, and it's exactly what happened. There was some good segments there. I like that it was Rush and Adam Page, the final 2. I like that. I could see that as a good match. I call them Rush, but sorry, Roosh. I can see how that could be a good match going forward. I don't see Adam Page them giving back the title to Adam Page. So
not right away.
Yeah, probably the next champion after Mox will probably one way or another MJF will win that title one way or another. So, but it was expected to be Adam Page to win this, and then a pretty good, like better than my expectations was the lights out match with Hobbs and Starks. We all had talked about this last week that probably Starks was going to get back that win and to set up a rubber match, final match to see who's on top here. We didn't see Hobbs yesterday, right? No. We saw Starks quickly, very quickly, but not Hobbs. So probably next week, probably Hobbs comes back and probably interferes or gives a beating to Starks one way or another, sets up their rubber match. But going back and forth was a very good match. I like. I know we said this last week, but I really like Starks' charisma, his His
He's
persona.
awesome.
He's good on the mic. He's a good seller. He makes shit look believable. So I like him. I'm interested in seeing where they could take how far a guy like Ricky Starks can go.
I would have liked him as a heel because he's got that charisma that the heel persona could go over really well.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, Powerhouse Hobbs is better off as a heel because he's like this monster killer. But yeah, like you said, we'll see where it goes. I think it's going to be good for Ricky Starks. Both of them actually. I think it's going to be good for both.
Yeah, one way or another, either one. I don't think feels like they're getting buried here. Like maybe I thought that at the beginning after the first match, after the squash match, 4 minutes, but they really did it good to get Starks believable in beating Hobbs there. See how they do the rubber match and the final grudge match there. But I think there's potential there for Starks, and maybe it's just for this rivalry because, like you said, Hobbs is a better heel. So maybe just for this rivalry, you have Starks as a face. But then really soon after this whole program with Hobbs is over, maybe turn him back heel there. Because I agree.
Yeah, there's time for that though.
Yeah,
I like him as a face.
Doesn't have to be rushed. Yeah, because he is over and people like it. I like his entrance music. His theme song is good. The crowd gets behind it. So that was the final match on. That was actually one of the best rampages. I know it was. Was it? Yeah, it was a 2 hour, right? It was Grand Slam. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So maybe it was that because it was 2 hours. So it was. It felt like a better show. Easier to put on a 2 hour show than put on a 1 hour show quickly like that. We have not much time to tell stories, and the matches have to be back to back to back straight up. I think this gave it a feel of more of a regular TV show, and it was actually one of the best Rampage I've seen since the beginning of Rampage there for AEW. So it's something to look at here. Try to convince TNT to get that extra hour there, because I think it would do them wonders. I think not only will it help in the ratings, because whether or not a lot of people will PVR that at that time on a Friday night, anyways. So to have it an hour, people don't seem like it's important. If I miss it, I miss it. It's only an hour. They'll probably explain to me what happened on Dynamite. But when it's 2 hours, it's a lot to miss. So
you have to try to have it on a night. Well, the problem is that the NBA is on almost every day. You have to have it on a night where the NBA is not focused as the main attraction.
Yeah,
you'll have basketball games throughout the entire year, obviously, but to have it on a night where, yes, you might have NBA games, but it's unopposed almost.
Yeah. Well, that's why I think Friday could work. Because as they go on after a basketball game at 10 o'clock, after Raw is off, after SmackDown is off the air also. But they need that extra hour to have compelling storylines on the show where people are going to watch.
In the meantime, what they should do before they go to that, have it start at 6. It's right around supper time. People could still watch the show while they're eating supper. Have it an hour before the NBA, so you don't have to push it back all the way to 10 where no one's going to watch it.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think if you have it at 6, from 6 to 7, the NBA starts at around 7:30 the game with all the pre-show stuff that they do.
Mm-hmm.
And you have an hour where you're essentially, people will focus on you,
Yeah.
And it'll keep the eyes on TNT because you're a lead-in to the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I think 6 o'clock could work. Supper time there could work for Rampage and AEW. Then that was Rampage, and then Raw. Raw was actually one of the best Raws also that I saw this year. Good match after good match, and they were all about 12 minutes, 15 minutes. Even I think one was almost 20 minutes. So that's some strong matches. Bianca versus Io Sky was a good match. I really enjoyed it. I didn't like the Rey Mysterio promo. We got to move. We got to go to the next step pretty quickly in this feud with Dominic. instead of the I'm not gonna hit my son, I'm not gonna do my son, I'm not gonna wrestle my son, I'm not gonna fight my son. Okay, now let's get to something where Ray is pissed, and now he's pissed at Dominic because now this whole I don't want to hurt him, while Dominic is basically he hasn't hit him. He has thrown him in the ring one time. Dominic did Ray, and he's given him a chair to taunt him to hit Dominic, and he still doesn't want. So I'm eager to see the next part in this feud go to the next level. I did find it cute that Ray was wearing a Bret Hart T-shirt there during that promo. So that's a good. I guess because it was in Edmonton, I guess that's why he was wearing that Bret. And then the Seth promo was fire. Seth Rollins, that is, and had a match with Ray, which was also pretty good. And we saw some fist bumps there, fist bumps from Rollins and Ray, which Rollins and Dominic. Sorry, I guess I need to smoke a cigarette here. I'm losing my my train of thought. Ray, some taunts with from Dom, and but it was a very good match. Bobby and Matt Riddle had a segment backstage with felt stale there. I think Riddle needs to move not away from this whole bro gimmick, like not totally away, but you need to show me some seriousness sometimes.
Yeah, but that's the problem. People are always going to look back at how he was with that bro character, but
like it's okay, you're the cool guy, the stoner, but show us that you can get serious sometimes when needed. That's the whole thing. He's all talking to Bobby, and Bobby's encouraging him, but at the same time he's telling him what you did last week, never do it again, which is interfere in my match, never interfere in my match ever again. And he's like, bro, I'm sorry, man. I didn't. He could have said, "Fuck, I wanted to get to Seth. I wanted to. I'm fed up with that piece of shit. I want to beat him up instead of apologizing, bro. I didn't mean to. I felt they could have gone another way there.
It's hard to take someone serious when he wrestles without shoes.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah, and I know some people have done it, and then like Miro did it, Umaga did it, but they all ended up eventually putting on boots.
But it's different though. These are guys that were able to get that thing over. Like Jimmy Snuka did it for years, but he was able to get it. It's the look, obviously, the look that you're projecting too. Miro and Umaga were two big guys, that. So it's, I don't know. It just looked different.
It definitely looks a bit different. I know they want a bit have that MMA feel there.
Yeah. That's true because he was an MMA fighter. Yeah,
that's what they want there. I know the real story is because the frostbite that he never wears shoes. He just never wears shoes. Even when he goes out to a gala or in a suit, he's always wearing sandals. You guys notice that? Try to check it out.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he got it. He got frostbite when he was younger. I don't know if he was a kid, but a while back when he was younger.
So what does he do in the wintertime?
Well, they should do it like
socks. I don't know.
maybe do like Happy Gilmore. Paint his entire foot black. That he has a frostbitten foot, and there you go. You can get that gimmick over.
You can get that gimmick over. Yeah. I think that would be because it is weird. It is weird though. Then we have.
What am I talking about? Mr.
Riddle.
Deeds. Sorry.
Mr. Deeds, yes.
Mr. Deeds.
That's true, yes. The
guy when he has a frostbitten foot and he has a black foot. Yeah, sorry.
And the guy is the guy has a fetish with a foot fetish there. You want to estimate my sneakiness. Then we had Gargano and Kevin Owens versus the Alpha Academy, which that was the return of the Panda Express, which was the tag team of KO and Gargano and PWG. Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. So that was a fun match. I really enjoyed that. I want to see. Do I want to see more KO and Gargano? I don't think I need to. I would rather see a KO and Sami Zayn run as tag team than with Gargano, at least for now. But this match was good. Theory also coming and helping out. So continuing that feud, KO and Theory there. I think that we're gonna get that match probably at Extreme Rules. So that should be cool there. Miz and Dexter continuing. I found that funny a bit. So Miz hires a clique of security guards, and they're supposed to be the top-notch security. Comes back, they're on the floor laid out, and there's that guy in the Oilers uniform behind them, and then ends up. Everybody knew it, like it was going to be Dexter, but anyways, it ends up being Dexter. Dexter puts him to sleep in a chokehold, and then just is petting him to end the segment. I think that fits Dexter pretty good in this whole kidnapper stalker type of gimmick. The return of Candice LeRae. Now that was a surprise because I hadn't heard this rumor in the dirty sheets.
And that's where John went to go clean his dirty sheet. Candice LeRae. Why do I not remember that?
Candice LeRae is that little Johnny Gargano's wife, that little blonde girl. She's a hell of a wrestler. She wrestled. She used to wrestle guys in PWG, in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. Well, now she has kind of a purple hair, but she used to be a blonde.
Oh, okay.
Seen her before, yeah.
Okay,
she's a hell of a good wrestler. She's just small. It's a shame that she's really small like that, but she's a hell of a good wrestler. She got a huge pop, and basically, we saw the end of Nikki ASH there. We were seeing this transition in the past weeks of them trying to separate herself from the superhero gimmick, and literally after Candice LeRae beating her, she took off the mask and she's crying in the ring. Excuse me. So I think that's the last we saw of Nikki ASH. Probably the return of Nikki Cross. Maybe a bit of that crazy Nikki Cross there. I think that can work for her because this superhero gimmick worked for like half a day. Like
yeah, exactly. it failed before she even came to the ring.
Yeah. Because people were excited there, and then it's completely died out. Once again, we had Judgment Day here, and then Sammy versus AJ. So at Judgment Day had a segment backstage, basically prompting up Dominic and saying how Dominic is good, and Finn having a few words. Then they have Sammy versus AJ, and that was the whole thing. Finn was offering his help to AJ because they go, okay, Sammy's going to come out with Sikoa, so you need some backup. And he goes like, nah, I don't need you guys, man. I'm alone. So Finn comes out even during the match. After the match, AJ loses. Finn goes in the ring, offers him his hand, and the whole clique too sweet, and he tells him to fuck off. AJ tells him to fuck off. Now my question here is, will we see AJ as part of the Judgment Day?
My God. How many times are you going to change the leader of this group in a span of 6 months? No,
they don't know.
AJ doesn't work. No,
I don't. I don't see AJ in a dark faction like that.
No,
like Finn, I see because the whole demon thing and Rhea, the way she dresses, the gothic, and Damian Priest also. But I don't see AJ. I think this could be a fun rivalry, but it's strange because at the same time you have Edge announcing that they're having I Quit match versus Finn Balor at Extreme Rules, but at the same time you have on the parallel setting up this feud with AJ and Finn also. So it's kind of weird that they're like simultaneously going with two different feuds there. You're building up the new one before the old one being done. So it kind of scares me in putting that they're probably going to put Finn over on Edge there. That's probably seems where it's going to go. And I think they could have a good feud, AJ versus the Judgment Day. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Good Brothers have 2 more shows with New Japan before their commitments with New Japan, because they don't have a contract with New Japan. I think they have 2 more commitments with New Japan, and then they're completely free. So maybe because can that be the return of the Good Brothers to help out AJ?
What were they called in AEW and the WWE? That faction wasn't BC. Was it the BC?
Well, it was Gallows and Anderson. That's what they were.
Yeah, but with AJ though. No, but with AJ, didn't they have a?
Oh no, the club.
That's it. Yeah.
The club. Yeah, it was kind of a work on Bullet Club there. Yeah. So maybe we can see the return of the Good Brothers there to help out AJ, and maybe have a run as faces this time, because the whole time they were together last time they were heels. So maybe that would be interesting to see what they can do as baby faces with AJ, and I think a feud maybe with the Priest, Dominic, and Finn versus the club, the Good Brothers with AJ can be interesting. Maybe can do what Judgment Day needs, that elevated feud that they need, maybe to get to see if they actually deserve to be around, or completely dismantle them altogether.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then you finished off Raw with a pretty good match of Priest and Riddle, going back and forth. It seemed like it was at the beginning kind of had that martial arts way with throwing kicks, side kicks, avoiding them, back and forth. And then when they got into it, into the wrestling, it was also good. I enjoyed that match. I think that match was close to being 22 minutes. So to end the Raw, that's, you want, I think in all they probably had close to 2 hours, maybe not 2 hours, that's maybe a lot, but close to maybe 60 minutes of just wrestling on this Raw. So that's pretty good. And when you have a 3-hour show, you could put it should be as much wrestling as possible in the 3-hour show.
Yeah.
And that's basically it, because NXT wasn't too interesting. Nothing other than Mandy Rose, who I love, but wasn't too interesting. Dragunov, who I also like, was there. So we're gonna see a rivalry with Dragunov and McDonough, which is the old Jordan Devlin there, which that should be a strong rivalry. Looking forward to seeing that, probably in your house, probably for the next their next pay-per-view or premium live event, which would probably be on the weekend of Survivor Series. That's the way they usually do it. So that's that match. And then we had Dynamite yesterday, which was maybe not as good as the Grand Slam, but still was a put out well put out show. I don't like Mox in a eliminator match.
I don't get that, but they do that all the time. Why would the world champion be in an eliminator match for his own belt?
Yeah.
What the fuck? What's the? It makes no sense.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense. And in the middle of it felt like it was just thrown in the middle of this card, like just to fill up time. And why did that guy even deserve an eliminator match? Like, I
always found that weird. Why would they would make the champion?
You have this whole thing that you build around AEW being about the wins and losses and about rankings and about this, and then you have these number one contender matches that absolutely have zero.
There's no payoff to them.
Yeah, there's no payoff. There's no payoff for this. Everybody knew Mox was going to win. Maybe it being an eliminator match, some people thought, maybe if it's not for the title, we could see a win there, a loss for Mox, but nah, I didn't see that one coming. So Jericho's new gimmick, and once again reinventing himself in the Ocho for 8-time world champion there. That was a fun match too, and that's why I don't mind like having Mox eliminator match in the middle of the card, even though it does seem fucked up. But if you're gonna have a main event for Jericho and Bandito for the ROH title, which was a good way to end the show.
It's just another way to get ROH over before it relaunches. You have a guy like Chris Jericho that you could say the lineage of ROH champions. Now you can add Chris Jericho's name to it.
Yeah.
So
and the way he wants to, from the promo we saw after the match, his whole point is to destroy the legacy now of ROH. So he wants to destroy every champion. Once again, side note, they have it when they were mentioning the past champions of ROH. Once again, they did not mention CM Punk.
CM Punk, yeah.
So yeah, he wants to destroy all the former champions. Wants to destroy all the commentators, ROH commentators, and he even wants to destroy the ROH ring announcers. And then that's when he attacks the ROH ring announcer.
Right.
So that's good. That got people reaction. I enjoyed that. What else did I see from AW? Because I kind of saw AW on the fly. I didn't write no notes. But unless you have something to bring up from AW that you liked, that you enjoyed.
I think overall it was a really, really good show. I can't really pinpoint one specific thing. I think the women's match was good. Toni Storm and
Serena Deeb,
that was pretty good.
And they gave them a lot of time. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good. I think they should at this point just declare her women's champion because I mean, you're really waiting for Thunder Rosa to come back, like because we don't really know. Remember, I think we discussed it. Is she really hurt? Is she stepping away from the company?
Yeah, because she is interim champion, right? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they're still calling her the interim champion. Yeah, but nothing that stood out. I think overall was just was a good card. I mean, I've liked the last 3 or 4 Dynamites. They've been from start to finish pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I said, I complained about the Sammy kissing his wife every 2 minutes, every 2 seconds rather. That was annoying to see on TV. But yeah, Chris Jericho, man.
Yeah, and that segment was good to open up AEW, the promo, the champion celebration, basically, with Daniel with Bryan Danielson coming out and Daniel Garcia kind of hitting that pizza guy. That was funny though. The guy with the pizza from New York, and he's spinning the pizza the whole time. But you saw he was wearing his wrestling gear under his thing. So that was you go, okay, this guy's gonna get destroyed by somebody pretty soon. But yeah, Daniel Garcia. Are they setting up Daniel Garcia to beat Jericho for the ROH world title?
I don't see Daniel Garcia having 2 belts. He has to lose the pure champion to somebody. Maybe he loses it to Wheeler Yuta again.
Gives it back to Wheeler, yeah.
Yeah, but
that could be a possibility. Because they could go the whole route like when they did with Wheeler, meaning you want to join the Blackpool Combat Club, then you got to face us first. So you face a Mox. Well, maybe not a Mox because he's champion, but you face a Daniel Bryan. Then you end up facing. Then you give the revenge or rematch to Wheeler Yuta. Wheeler Yuta ends up winning, and then you set up Daniel Garcia for thing. I don't know if that's what they want. Maybe when they get a deal, Daniel Garcia can be your champion, like when they get a TV deal. But I think for now, trying to grow the ROH brand, I think, like you said, I think Jericho will do the job just fine there.
Yeah, and I think at this point we should. I wouldn't even say it's out of line to call him the greatest ever, because not many wrestlers could reinvent themselves so many times, but stay over each and every time.
Yeah, that's I there's no argument for me on him definitely being in the GOAT conversation. There's arguments for and arguments against, but I have no problem us discussing it. He definitely deserves to be in that conversation. That's no doubt about it. In what he's accomplished in his career, and like you said, the many times he's reinvented himself, and it's over every time. That deserves recognition. I definitely think he should be. He's definitely in the top. I want to say top.
He's top 3.
I wanted to say top 3, but if we're, I don't know. There might be some arguments for. I'll definitely put him in the top 5. There's no argument there. No argument in the top 5. Think top 3. There's arguments for him being in the top 3, but there's also arguments that maybe other people may be ahead of him.
I wouldn't put The Rock ahead of him.
Well, because of the longevity, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't put The Rock ahead of him. I think the only 2 I would put ahead of him are Hogan and Stone Cold.
See that I'm okay with that. Hogan and Stone Cold, and I'm debating between Undertaker and Jericho there.
That would be my top 5. Hogan, Stone Cold, Jericho, Undertaker, and Ric Flair. So
Yeah,
I'll throw Ric Flair there. Yeah,
Ric
has to be
Flair
in there.
deserves to have his name in the conversation also. Yeah, guaranteed. But I'm comfortable, definitely comfortable with top 5, and definitely there's arguments there for top 3, and he should be remembered as one of the greatest, guaranteed. Even though that recently, okay, he's been changing gimmick more often recently. He'll go from now he's the Ocho Le Champion. The Lionheart was coming back.
The Painmaker.
Yeah. So he is like kind of, well, maybe it's the end of his career and he feels it. So he feels like he needs to reinvent himself more often. So he stays always relevant. I understand where he's coming from with that. You don't want to get stale, especially at that age, because you could be you won't be forgotten, but it could be put aside, I guess, pretty quickly. So yeah, it was a pretty good Dynamite. I enjoyed this Dynamite. I think Rampage tomorrow, back to 1 hour, but I think it's we have some strong matches there. Oh yeah, we have Jericho's gonna facing Bryan Danielson in Toronto for the Dynamite in Toronto. So for the ROH title, I don't think they give. Do you think they give to Bryan Danielson that title? Not right away, right? Give him a little run with that title.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think Bryan Danielson should get the AEW title before that.
Yeah. I agree.
Whenever the MJF thing is over, where he has his run with the belt, then you give it to Daniel.
I agree. I agree. Daniel Bryan, first of all, doesn't need ROH title, and I think he shouldn't touch a title other than the world AEW world title. That's the only one that really he deserves or fits him. Anything else would be a disappointment for how good he is. So yeah, I see them putting out a great match in Toronto. I'm seeing Jericho getting a pretty good reaction in Toronto, even as a heel.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, and getting
but he'll swerve it because they'll say Winnipeg is better than Toronto.
Yeah. He's smart enough to get them. Okay, they're gonna go crazy singing his song, guaranteed. Guaranteed. And then as soon as he's gonna take the mic, he's gonna say something like that. Well, the Leafs haven't won since '67, and the Jets are better than the Leafs or something. So and then they'll turn on him pretty quickly. So yeah, we're excited for that, and that's pretty soon. That's not next week, the week after, right? Yeah, not this next coming Dynamite, the one after. So that's fun. And if there's any listeners here or viewers that are going to AEW in Toronto, let us know. We're happy to hear your stories of how that was at an AEW event, because we've all been to WWE events, but none of us here in Canada have had the pleasure to go to AEW. So how that atmosphere is there.
Next time they come to Canada, we definitely got to go. And yes, please tell us your stories, because we'd much rather hear that than to hear Justin's Mexico story.
Yes, please. Instead of listening to JLB's drunken Mexico stories, we're good. Yeah. We're good. Just tell us how AEW was in Toronto, and we could move on from that. So, all right. So I guess John won't be coming back, so I'm going to bring us home here. Thanks, guys, for everybody who's listened and who tuned in. Today, we were lucky to have a lot of comments from everybody here listening to us and Wrestling Talk Now. Thank you for that. You guys are always welcome to comment and comment on our podcast. So I'm Kid Crazy. That's Jeff. John is probably cleaning his dirty sheets. And
and there's no links in the doobly-doos today.
Yeah, no links in the doobly-doos today. So just, if you want to get to us, just come on WTN Wrestling Talk Now on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram. Message us there on TikTok, and you'll be able to get in contact with us without you needing to follow us anywhere. So from me, Kid Crazy, from JT, and from the Big Red, we calling it a night. So long, folks.
See ya.
Oh, it's true.
No, it's not like
John has to. John has to.
John, get back, John. John.
Let me see if
What
I
the
can
hell?
do it. I guess if we both just leave the studio, it's gonna shut down, right?
I guess so.
I guess so. Let's just
Yeah,
do that.
See you
Ciao.
guys.
Ciao.